Alright, it's Wesley with Expandacraft here, and we are in Homosassa Springs. And when I mean springs, I don't mean the town, I mean we're actually in the springs. That's correct. And it's freezing! Florida freezing anyway. We're here to talk about what we have. We have a little 1.5 horse motor on the back of this Expandacraft. And this is a folding deck. So this 8-foot deck is a prototype, people. This one's not the end result. This is just a test bed. But I want you to look how easy it is to just get right between the hulls, even if I was in deep water. And you push down on here and here, and you just belly up onto the decking there like a walrus. Believe me, I am not an agile fella, and it's quite easy for me to scoot up in there to get back on the seat. And we have here a 12-footer, and it's just with the flat deck. And we didn't put the kayak seat on because we got the wrong hulls on there. There was nowhere to put the kayak seat, so we just connected the two of them together and used this motor and towed her alongside of me about 5 miles an hour. Very efficient. We have gone about an hour and a half on less than half a tank. And this boat, like I said, it's just a test bed. And what we're going to do is probably make this a little wider. And when we put the motor on this thing, this is, like I said, a Honda 1.2. It gets the boat going so fast that the cross tubes start to drag in the water. So you definitely would want to do a riser kit with the motor. Unless you're just going to putt around in flat water. The seat is the Millennium Pro, very comfortable seat. We're going to have an adjustable forward and back when we do the real thing. Again, it's the prototype. You can see the propeller even through this beautiful crystal clear water. And the idea behind having this swing up is so that you can sit in the seat, and if you had to deal with the motor, you can actually bring the motor to you, or even the propeller. You can bring the whole unit up to you at the seat, so that you don't have to get on your hands and knees or stand up, lean over, even to start the motor. Also remember, prototype. This is just a PVC pipe, and I kind of have to sit sideways and forward a bit to steer the boat. We are going to put either foot steering or cable steering that's going to allow like a little T-bar here, so that you can have cables that run down the channel, and it'll either be a lever, a forward-back lever, or I might even put a foot-operated where you just twist your foot left or right. That way you can be completely hands-free steering, and the throttle would be remote. So that way you can sit facing forward, like it's shown here. Being it's a swivel seat, it's really easy to get to your gear. And one of the things we're not showing here right now are what I call the mounting wings. And that is a black piece of starboard that goes between here and here, so that you can mount your fishing gear, your rods and reel, and all of that, without occupying the space here. And if you'll notice, this side has got netting on it. That's really tough. I mean, I'm 225 pounds and I can walk on that. It's no big deal. And then on this side I put deck, so that purposely you can walk around and what have you. Anyway, we are going to be experimenting with this. Here's where the joinery is, by the way. We're going to be experimenting with this design. And say hello to Margaret. Hi, Margaret. And make it a little larger, and we're going to make it a lot lighter as well. This one's made from a little bit heavier material than is really necessary. So we're going to lighten it up, make it even wider, and put it on risers so that we can go even faster. And we want to thank our friends at kayakbuddies.com. Kayakbuddies.com are the guys who take this Honda motor and put it on this lower unit. The lower unit is what they build in Miami. They take other parts and redo everything to where all the ferrous metals are done away with. It's either billet aluminum or stainless steel. Really nice setup. This whole motor is less than 600 bucks. The whole get up, the motor and drive. And it's all about having the appropriate size motor for such a craft. I have a Honda 2.3 and it's just way too much motor for this, and it's much heavier. I think this one's like 23 pounds. It's a 1.5 horsepower. Plenty to move this boat. I think if we play with the pitch of the prop and get this up on risers, we're probably looking at 8-9 miles an hour. Right now it's limited to about 5, but that's because when you get to a certain speed, the cross tubes start to drag because the bow wake puts up just enough that it touches the cross tubes. As you can see, the cross tubes are made for basically when you're going to paddle it like a kayak. And that speed, you don't have to worry about the cross tube drag. But when you put a motor on it that can go 7 miles an hour, that's a whole different story. So next time you see this motor, it's going to be on a boat with risers. Expandacraft.com and our buddies at kayakbuddies.com.